One of the most impressive sprint performances I've ever seen, not just this year so far, the Abu Dhabi Breakwater Sprint. The final sprint royale we have in the UAE Tour. We've had 3 good sprints so far, including the uphill sprint that Johnny Milan won on stage 1. He won the first flat sprint, and then Tim Merlier won the second flat sprint. Today was the last one. Before the race, we had Danny Van Poppel performing some tricks for some kids, and Tim Merlier relaxing, chilling out in the sunshine, and predictably it was Solutions Tech, Vini Fantini and Bardiani going in the breakaway. No shenanigans from the bigger teams this time. Some playful people pretending to go in the breakaway, Ciccone and Bilbao for the camera, but then it was down to business. The sprint teams, Bora for Welsford, Quickstep for Merlier, Alpecin for Philipsen, who's also been left without a win so far, controlling the stage. About 73 Ks to go. UAE Team Emirates tried to split it with Vine going first, then Mikel Bier, but the wind clearly wasn't strong enough when you see the formation of the peloton. Even when they were sending it, there was just not enough wind, too much of a built-up area. There are a lot of highways, so a very much more chilled day for Pogacar. But then the last 10 Ks obviously were frantic. We got a fresh, full peloton. They catch the breakaway late, actually. In the last 4 kilometers, we see the big trains lining up. Alpecin scooting up late, trying to find space just before the road comes in. Bora on the right-hand side, Little Trek on the right-hand side, and I would say the right-hand side, as we look at it from the helicopter shot, ends up being the best side to go on, mainly because in the end, Behrens drags that side up a lot faster, and so it gets to the chicane and twisty bits faster than the left-hand side. You can see that process beginning here. Also, as we get through 3Ks to go on the left, UAE cede control of the front because they're past the 3 kilometer to go banner, so the left naturally slows down, plus the right speeds up. Jayco move over there swiftly, and Alpecin are left as the main sprint team on the left, kind of holding, trying to get back up, whilst you see Milan's got 3 men around him. He's in the green jersey. Merlier's pretty much on his own the entirety of the last 3K. Bert's behind him at this point, keeping his wheel free, but Merlier has had to freelance a lot more than even like last year. Bert actually helped him win a couple of the stages. And we see that right-hand side win now. The right-hand side wins now. Ricard loses the train, so they lose one of their most important lead-out men as we come up to the right-hand corner here. So you want to be on the right-hand side in about P15 because it really accelerates. Picnic Post and El do a really good job there. Lead-outs, I think, were better this week. Fabio's had a couple of top 5s, which is better than last year, particularly against this competition. So he should be able to win this year, maybe on a lower level. And we see that Trek with Dan Holder, they make it to the front. Milan is looking to see that Simone Consoni's made it with him. Consoni had that crash. Is that affecting him? But he's behind Milan. But yeah, they got 2 in front, and Consoni's the last man for Milan. And then Milan tries to switch there, and he does switch. The problem is they were a little bit early, and yeah, when in Valencia against no lead-outs, you can boss it, but in the UAE Tour, if you slow down for a second, you get washed over, and that's what happens here. Trek get washed over, and now they're back to P10 after being at the front. They just, Ull needs to get out of the way because he'd finished his pull, and now McClay gets in the middle of their train. Milan starts to pinball around, and that's why I like Merlier, and that's why I don't think it's so clear-cut. If you listen to the Lanterne Rouge Cycling podcast, I was sort of on Merlier versus Milan. I always said I thought in the bunch sprints, equal leader, I actually like Merlier, but you see Milan just pinballs around a lot here, and if he doesn't have the perfect lead out, not only is he creating problems for others here, he's going up too fast into a space that doesn't exist, has to brake or pause pedaling in, swings back right again, and he should just be following his train. I don't know where he's going. He hits Merlier, causes the crash. Merlier has to restart his sprint again. So yeah, it was a chaotic sprint. We got the chicane here. It goes left, and then it's open around the outside. Everyone's going to do their lead out they're going to swing from right here, and they're going to swing to the left when they finish their lead out. Tudor, Philipsen's actually in a really good position if he launches here, and then Merlier just sends it from 250, jumps everybody. You'll see this in the overhead. Wait for the overhead. Crazy sprint, crazy sprint, and shows everybody in a chaotic sprint. If no one gets the perfect lead out, he can make one for himself. You see here, McLay and Milan bring him up to speed, shooting up the right-hand side, and as that happens, Tudor move left through the chicane, and that opens up the right-hand side. But Milan and McLay move left, trying to go up, but then as Tudor swing left, it closes left. And so Milan gets badly boxed in, and he loses his lead out as well. And Merlier's already committed here. He commits to jumping from here at like 300, which is just obscene. Shoots from P13. You almost, in a flat sprint, you almost never see this. It's ridiculous. Decline and Philipsen nearly come together. Pedersen on decathlon stopped, and then Van Poppel swings even further into decline, even though they're kind of going the same speed. He gets relegated for this, his second yellow card of the season. Maybe he should do a lead out next time instead of trying to sprint for himself for the TV. And Decline nearly has to break, or else he goes into the barriers. But what a sprint win for Merlier. Super impressive in the European Champs jersey. Makes it easy to pick him out. Disappointment for Milan. 2 sprint wins each for them. Merlier winning ahead of Philipsen and then Milan. Valscheid sprinted because Groenewegen couldn't start today after the crash. Jakobsen, Rivers, Skirl, Van Poppel, Zanoncello, Welsford. Here's what Merlier had to say after the stage.
Win. Are you happy with the way you won today?
Oh, I prefer to be a bit more safe. I was in the wash machine, like we say. And I found a gap, 300 to go, and then I tried to surprise the others. But with the headwind was a really long effort, so I'm suffering.
Have you taken advantage of some trains from other teams?
No, like I say, it was really difficult to organize. Also, my lead out crashed yesterday, so maybe he was not a good idea to do the real work today. But he tried what he can, and then we lost each other like 1.9 to go. But then was I missed him there to make some space for me, and I was all the time boxed in. I say I don't gonna make it, but then I found a gap with 300 to go, and then I just gave it a try, and it was enough.
Everyone was sprinting today. It means you beat Jasper Philipsen and Jonathan Milan. Does it add to the value of your victory?
Well, like every opportunity is an important one, and yeah, I'm just really happy with the win again.
It's the 7th victory at the UAE Tour. Tomorrow you will probably not win. Will you come back?
Oh, of course, I want to come back. I said yesterday already, I like this kind of races, so yeah. Normally we'll back here next year.
In terms of GC, Pogacar's got a very healthy lead, less than the minute I thought he had, but he's still got a pretty healthy lead nonetheless going to her feet tomorrow. Should be an interesting mountaintop finish. Can anyone upset him? Probably not. Hope you enjoy the video. I'll see you with the recap tomorrow. Ciao.